Good morning, everyone. I am President Amanda Sandoval, and what a beautiful morning today is. It is an honor to be here with all of you in our newly renovated Central Library. Yeah. A true gem in our city and a testament to the power of community investment. The Central Library just underwent a major renovation, which was made possible by the 2017 GO bond approved by voters like you. And I encourage you, after today's event, to take a moment to appreciate this incredible space and all of the amazing updates. Now more than ever, Denver City Council and the mayor must stand side by side to deliver real results for the people of Denver. Denverites are counting on us. We are all here because we share a deep commitment to making Denver a better, safer, and more vibrant place to live, not just for today, but for generations to come. As City Council reviewed and approved the 2025 budget, we remained guided by our core goals, ensuring that the final budget reflected the needs and priorities of Denverites. While the mayor crafts the budget, City Council took great care to make adjustments that align with our commitment to community, safety, housing, economic opportunity, transportation, and public health. These goals aren't just guiding principles, they are a framework for action, shaping the policies and investments that will make a meaningful difference in the lives of the people we serve. Now, as the 2025 budget is implemented, we hope to see these goals continue to be reflected in the city's work, ensuring that every dollar spent moves Denver toward a stronger and more equitable future. I'd like to take a moment to thank our community partners who remind us of the strength of our local business and cultural heritage. A huge thanks and a round of applause for John Jaramillo. Thank you, John. And the Hispanic Restaurant Association for partnering with Viva Mexico Coffee Shop and Horas Bakery to provide today's refreshments. Supporting small local businesses is essential to the heart of Denver's economy. And I encourage you to visit Viva Mexico Coffee Shop on Eudora and Colfax and Aurora's Bakery on Oneida and Leetsdale to continue supporting our small local businesses. I'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge my colleagues who are here with us today. Councilmember Chris Hines, District 10. Pro Tem Diana Romero Campbell, District 4. Councilwoman Flor Alvidrez, District 7. And one of our at-large community partners, at-large Councilwoman Sarah Purdy. I don't know why I flipped out. I'm like, hello. At the end of the day, we're all here for one reason: to build a better Denver. And not just for ourselves, but for the next 7 generations, which is what I do as council president. I think about the next 7 generations. I think about the 7 generations that brought me here, amazing leaders that I stand on their shoulders, and the next 7 generations that will come after us. And in this time, I ask all of you in 2025 to keep the next 7 generations in our 4 eyes. It's really important that we come together right now in this time for the next 7 generations of Denverites. And now it is with my pleasure to introduce a leader who is working alongside us to enhance the lives of Denverites every day. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Mike Johnston.
Hello, everybody. Great to see you. And thank you so much for being here. Welcome to our brand new renovated public library. We'll hope you'll take the time to wander around and talk to our staff and see all of the great innovations that have been built thanks to our bond support. I want to thank all the members of our cabinet who are here today, all of our city leaders, of course, our council members. So grateful for their partnership and leadership in the city. And thank you all for joining. As you all know, we have been over the last 18 months on an ambitious path to try to transform Denver into a place that is vibrant, that is affordable, that is safe, where every young person feels like they can thrive and prosper, and we feel like we have delivered a city that makes all of us proud. And I think many of us have had the experience in your own lives where you've planned the big trip, you've built a big adventure where you're taking the family and you've gotten everybody in the car and you got 2 or 3 cars and you get on the road and you get an hour into that trip. And then the storm comes, right? And you find yourself in the middle of a blizzard, and it suddenly makes you wonder where you're going and how you get there. I want to name that these last few weeks for many folks in our community have felt like that blizzard, have felt like confusion, and can feel like chaos when we have moments where we are worried about freezes on federal funding that could affect either our child care programming, folks' access to health care, our ability to build roads and bridges. Those are moments to stop. In amidst talk of rolling back efforts on climate progress or commitment to diversity and equity and inclusion, it is easy in those moments to feel the disorienting chaos of the blizzard, right? Which is, it's hard to see 15 feet in front of your face. And in those moments you wonder, like, should I stop? Do I pull off? Do I turn back? And I think today is about our belief and commitment that in those moments where you feel the most chaos is where the deepest connection to your vision and your mission matters the most. Where you know exactly where we're going and why we're going there means we just keep moving forward one step at a time, each moment towards that end goal, knowing that we believe in the North Star, we're following that North Star, and our commitment is to not be distracted by the rest of that confusion. And so today we're excited to lay out the next step on that journey, talk about what we think is next for 2025 and how we are excited to work with our partners and community members across the city on how we keep us going towards that vision of what's possible for Denver. And so I want to walk you through today the 6 big citywide priorities that we're laying out for 2025 and how we are going to work together with partners to try to deliver on these ambitious goals. I'll just say, obviously, a huge thank you to the team that makes all of this possible, specifically our 13,000 city employees all across the city. Some are here in the room today, some are online, many are out on the job, keeping the city running as smoothly as it does. But every time, I always say, every time you find a moment of joy in Denver, whether you are relaxing with your family in a public park, whether you're on the way to see a show at Red Rocks, whether you're just amazed that all your large items got picked up from the backyard of your house and magically disappeared that day. Every one of those moments of wonder is because a Denver City employee was hard at work hours before you thought to get up to make sure the city operated that smoothly. So we just want to thank them for all their progress in getting us here and their commitment to moving us from here forward. And so I'll start first with these, with our focus on Vibrant Denver. As many of you know, we are focused on making sure that we keep all of Denver vibrant. That means both supporting all of our unique neighborhoods and our downtown and thriving in the years to come. And so we're dedicated to making sure that Denver can be America's most vibrant city. And at the heart of that is both economic opportunity citywide and the core cultural components that make this city joyful. That means this year you'll see us focus on 2 things. One is on working with our communities to develop a comprehensive plan to look at what strategic investments we can make across Denver's neighborhoods to bring out that vibrance that folks are looking to build in their own communities. And in the process of this, we are going to stay committed to our effort to both revitalize downtown and as a part of that, fully reopen the 16th Street Mall, which is set to open this summer, which will be a fantastic transformation for the city. I want to thank a number of our partners. I think that Courtney Garrett from Downtown Denver Partnership is here. Thank you to Richard Scharf and our partners from Visit Denver, who are always working on how we help make this a great place, not just to live, but also to visit. So you'll see these as top areas of focus on this. 2 two things I want to name that you may not see up here that will be a top priority for us this year. One is we'll continue our effort on transforming our permitting process here in Denver to make it easier and faster to be able to approve and build projects in all parts of the city. We reduced permitting time about 30% last year. We think we have more work to do to make sure it is an easy to use system. So thanks so much to Manish at CPD and our team there who's working on that ongoing partnership. And you will see, thanks to voter support of the Downtown Denver Development Authority this past November, you will see a historic investment we will start to launch in downtown through the Downtown Denver Development Authority. That's more than $500 million without raising taxes that has been committed to focus on the revival of downtown. That means great public spaces. That means commercial buildings that are vacant that can be converted into residential housing. It means more and more opportunities to attract and keep great local vendors who want to be able to show off all the things that they build and make right in downtown. So those will all be top areas of focus for us this year around Vibrant. I want to talk a little bit about affordable. Obviously, we know this is one of the most important issues in the city. We still have about 90% of Denverites who say one of their biggest concerns is making sure they can afford to live here. That means if you grew up in the neighborhood and you want to be able to stay in that neighborhood, we want to make sure that this city remains accessible and affordable for all. And we know if we do nothing, we are about 44,000 units short of the amount of affordable housing we have to bring on over the next decade. And we don't intend to stand still here either. So you'll see our clear focus here on two things. One is actively bringing on 3,000 more affordable units this year. That means places where working families in Denver can afford to live. So if you are a teacher or a nurse or a firefighter or a server at your favorite restaurant, we want to make sure you can stay in Denver and can afford to live in Denver. Many partners in the community who have been helping lead this work. Obviously grateful to Joaquin and our team from the Denver Housing Authority who is here and present. I think Jonathan Capelli from the Neighborhood Development Collaborative is here as well. But really grateful to our Mercy Housing partners, to Urban Ventures, to all the folks who are every day at work on the private-public partnerships that we'll take to deliver on this goal. And in the midst of making sure we're delivering units this year, we also want to be focused on what are the innovative solutions we can develop that are going to put us on path to close the entire gap. Right? We know we had a conversation with voters last year about 2R. That was not the chosen path to get there. That does not mean we stop or slow down. It means we now look at other innovative solutions we can use to build these units and then find a way to scale them. So you'll see us stay focused on affordability this year as well. Next one is on safety. Obviously, this has been a focus for us from the beginning, and we are heartened and encouraged by the progress that has been made. Huge thanks to Chief Thomas and Director Saldate, who have been hard at work on this over the last year and a half. As you know, some good progress in terms of already decreasing shootings last year by about 23%, but we also know that's not nearly enough. We want to make sure we are addressing violent crime in all parts of the city, so we'll maintain a citywide focus on that goal. We also know that in addition to violent crime, which maintains a top focus, there are still across city places where folks don't feel safe because of the everyday interactions of small nonviolent crimes that affect quality of life for residents, for business owners all across the city. This year we'll launch a coordinated strategy to focus on all of those issues citywide as well, whether that includes things like theft from retail establishments, where we want to make sure our businesses are vibrant and thriving and not losing unnecessary shrinkage to day-to-day theft, whether it's focusing on drug dealing or distribution. We'll still be focused on places where those nonviolent crimes that impact our quality of life are also a top priority for the city as we work on this across all of our districts citywide. So a little bit about maintaining a focus on safety. One other area we are all in on, no pun intended, is making sure that we continue the progress we've made towards helping folks get out of unsheltered homelessness, into transitional housing, and then into permanent housing long term. As you know, we're very proud of the progress we made here. More than 2,300 people who have been brought from the streets indoors over the last 18 months. And we've seen progress that we're excited about. Both that includes things like an 83% reduction in street homelessness for families. We are very proud to just a month ago become the largest city in America to end the cycle of street homelessness for veterans, which shows us we are on a path to be able to make dramatic impact for everyone that's experiencing homelessness, and we're not done yet. And so this year we will articulate even more ambitious targets than we have in the past. We have put about just over 2,000 people we brought indoors over the last 18 months. We'll now endeavor to speed up that momentum and bring 2,000 people who are experiencing homelessness indoors in 2025. And critically, continue to expand our ambitious focus on getting people to permanent housing. That means once you've gotten to transitional housing or to shelter, we know the end goal is for you to have a place of your own with your own rent and your own job where you're supporting yourself and paying your bills. And so we will set our most ambitious goal ever of trying to get people out of our all-in sites and out of our shelter system into permanent housing, which you'll see as a focus this year as well. There are a couple of new priorities we are excited to announce this year that we've been working with community members around that we know are critical to the city's success, in addition to vibrant, affordable, and safe. And at the top of that list is a focus on climate resilience. We know that part of what makes Denver wonderful is folks come here and stay here because of its connection to the West and to the wild and to the outdoors. And that means making sure that as the city grows, we also stay connected to the natural environment that brought us here. And so that's a deep focus on clean air and clean water and making sure we are protecting against the impact of climate change. We know 4 of the last 5 years have been 4 of the 5 hottest years on record in Denver history, which means we know this impact is real. It's affecting everything from heat exposure for residents to drought risks, to impacts on general livability. So we have 2 major areas of focus here we're laying out. One is to cut carbon pollution this year by adding 2,000 heat pumps, EV chargers, and solar arrays with our homes, businesses, and nonprofits to help move us off of fossil fuels and onto more renewable sources of energy across this spectrum. We're also really focusing on climate resilience. That means for us, making sure we address the risk of heat islands and growing sections of the city that are getting hotter and hotter. One of the most powerful ways to do that is to add tree cover and tree canopies. So we'll plant 4,500 trees this year. And we will also focus on reducing water usage by 20 million gallons this year as a way to both preserve water, protect it for all the long-term needs that we will have as we face a hotter and drier climate. I'll add, in addition, our teams at the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure and our climate team at CASRA are both focused on how we also help work with Denverites to think about ways that we can divert more of our trips that we're taking in single occupancy vehicles towards public transit, towards walking, towards biking. So you'll see our teams lead on public mobilization around increased use of public transit, of bike lanes, of ways to walk safely to and from school, church, restaurants, grocery stores, as a way to not just move the energy sources of the vehicles we're driving, but to find all the chances we can to get out of vehicles altogether and move towards other non-carbon impacted forms of public transit. So that is a little bit of our focus this year on climate resilience. Next one. We also know that one of the things that makes a city deeply loved is it is a great place to raise a child or to build a family. And so we are launching this year a citywide focus on how we make Denver the premier city in America for raising a family. And for us, that means focusing on the entire continuum of cradle to career. How do we both meet families and the moments that they're first welcoming kids into our city, and how do we make sure we're there every step of the way to make sure they succeed. Grateful to have Dr. Marrero here, our partner from DPS, as well as some of our school board members. We're looking at multiple parts of that pipeline and where we think the greatest need exists. And I'd say there are a couple areas of focus for us. One is we'll start this year with a focus on both middle school students and high school students, where we think the urgency is around connection to both learning opportunities and growth that happen outside of the traditional 8 to 3 o'clock school day. We know almost 75% of young people's learning now happens outside of that core 8 to 3 school day. That means after school, that means weekends, that means summer. That is also a great protective factor for young people's mental health. The more connected they are to other experiences, other peers, other adults, those are all anchors for them in the storm to make sure that they are healthy and growing. And so we'll focus on connecting 5,000 Denver kids to high quality out of school programming, both in the summertime and over the course of the school year. And we will focus on the transformative power of work for high school students. We think work provides young people a chance to not just, turns out in my kids' example, learn how to be to places on time. It turns out when you have to check into work, that's more important somehow than making it to dinner on time. But also it helps people both develop adult mentors. It gives young kids a chance to explore different careers. Also gives them a chance to make money and support themselves and support their families. And so we'll see a real focus on our mayor's Youth Works program citywide to help get 2,500 young adults into both summer jobs and long-term career training for our 18 to 24-year-olds who we want to get onto a path to permanent and stable middle-class careers. Great. So that is, those are our overview. These are our 6 key citywide priorities for the year. And what we wanted to do is both name these, share them, and then what we do is jointly ask you to hold us accountable to them, which is the reason why we share these publicly in any organization is this helps mobilize our 13,000 employees. It helps us mobilize the work we do with partners in and around the community, and it helps us set clear targets that we know will deliver outcomes for the city in a way that you'll be able to track transparently. Each quarter we'll update our progress on these so you can keep track of the scoreboard, know what we're doing, and push us on what we can do better. So I'll close with this, which is these are the things that we believe will fundamentally serve Denver residents the best. And we're going to stay deeply committed and focused to those. And I know if I were doing a press conference now, I might get 100 questions, none of them that would be on these 6 things. And I want to name that is also real. And so for us, this is why I stand back in the place of it is easy in those moments when you find yourself in the storm to feel a sense of fear, to feel a sense of doubt, to feel a sense of paralysis. And you've all had those moments when you just hold the steering wheel tighter and get more and more afraid of where you're heading. We think that is actually not the most powerful way for us to deliver for the 720,000 residents of the city who rely on us. What our job is to do is to come in every day, stay focused on the tasks we have, stay focused on what we believe we can deliver for the city, and not slow down. And so we have a mantra we use in the city, which is we believe that all our problems are solvable and that we are the ones to solve them. Which means we know there will be external factors, we know there will be chaos to manage, but we believe in the midst of that, this is our commitment to say that Denver knows how to manage storms. We've done them before and we do it all the time. We are not a Texan trying to drive through a snowstorm in the middle of winter. We've actually been through this multiple iterations. And so I laugh at that because I think that it is worth a small joke, but I also know I want to make sure people see how serious we know the stakes are. We know there are folks in the city today who are very, very afraid, whether that is worried about them or their family members being caught up in mass deportations, whether that is someone who is fighting hard to make sure they can still pay the rent this month, whether that is someone who's trying to keep their small business going and they're struggling in the midst of economic conditions. Those are all real. And we will be here every step of the way to attend to those. But this is our moment to say we're clear in Denver. Denver is not slowing down, we're not turning back, and we're not leaving anyone behind. And our belief is the only way you get there is you get there together, and that's what we'll plan to do. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you.